Hey, Rob Brinded here. I'm going to be talking about something I think is going to be super important if you're interested in changing yourself, like fundamentally changing some of the things you know about yourself that are not, say, masterful. So if you feel that you're not able to change, or there are certain tendencies you have that you don't like, so you're too sensitive, or even if you feel like things are going really well, but your body keeps letting you down, or there are behaviors that you have that are letting you down. I think I have the answer for you now, and I'm going to be telling you all about that and how to do it. Well, start pointing out how to do it. I'll be doing lots more videos on this, and I just wanted to tell you about this system that I've discovered and developed, and that's why I haven't been videoing for so long. As you can see by the banner and some of the design work is, I've changed my banner from Rob Brinded to Masterless. The reason why I did this is because I wanted to move my work away from me and more to a system that is for everyone, or you as an individual, so that you have your own authority, your own self-authority to resolve things yourself. So what I've come to understand is, with now almost 30 years, almost 3 decades of work in this field of high performance, is that you have the answers within you for everything. And I wanted to get away from anyone perceiving me as some sort of guru, or that it's not about me. It's just I've spent, almost 30 years every day, all day, looking for the answers initially for my own problems, my own insecurities, my own pains in my body. And through now over 15 years of working with individuals using this method, I have learned a hell of a lot. And what I did learn is, and it's completed almost my system, I think, is that there were a handful of people that I couldn't change, like the deep stuff I couldn't change. And so I was getting all these results with people using energetics, the 1 and 0, being able to resolve people's symptoms and sometimes the causal factors incredibly quickly, like instantly. And a lot of people talked about miraculous change, which I think is just a sort of a traditional word for something that happens very quickly and it's unexplained. And I think that one day in the future, this will all be just normal. It will be seen and perceived as what it is. It's something that there's these rules and laws in this universe, and once you can tap into them, you can resolve things really quickly, okay? And anyone can do it. And I want to get away from the Rob Brinded to how do we become masterless, as in we don't need anyone else to look after our own body and mind. So as you can see, I'm just going to bring up a whiteboard. So this is a design that I did with the help of an artist in America. Really, really happy with it. It's gone for that kind of cool vibe of samurai, Wu-Tang Clan. The yellow color is standing for the sunlight, which is one of the major energies that we receive and is super beneficial for us. So being outside is super beneficial because of the energy, the different energies of the sun coming into our body and energizing our mitochondrial system. So that's energy coming from outside of us. The warrior is kneeling. It's very symbolic. So the warrior is kneeling because, and I will go into more about this, when it comes to changing your behavior, it is done without changing, without actioning on the change. It's done by observation only. So there's no internally, externally, when you combat someone, you're trying to do everything you can to not fight. But when you fight, you have to action. Internally, it's different. And this is where this key aspect of my work is, through my own experience and working on myself, it must be done without any action. So when your opponent in your internal dojo of your mind attacks, you have to observe this behavior, observe your own thinking, and that is the way to combat it. If you react to the trigger and you try and either escape or try and change yourself, or you want to be more able because you feel unable, that reinforces that system of the centralized mind, and you reinforce your opponent. So the way I came about this is, I've spent a few years ago, I realized there was a handful of people I couldn't resolve the problems, and I've been thinking about it constantly. I'm a little bit like, I don't like to feel unable, which is one of my behaviors. So I was unable to change them. So it was just bothering me constantly. And I was looking for the answer. Why couldn't I change them? And through a lot of internal work, that's why I wasn't doing any videos, is I've been looking at and experiencing and sort of going internally to resolve this area myself. And what I've come to understand is that the people I couldn't change, it was coming from a deeper level. And so let me just draw on here, if this is working now. There we go. Okay, my 6-year-old has grabbed this and spun it around. Let me bring it the other way. Get my pen out. Okay, so if we, let me choose a different color. So if we come over here, and I'm going to separate this out into, you have to bear with me, because, okay, that's the bottom layer, and that's the second layer. Okay. And then right at the top of the triad, right, is, so if you imagine that fitting over, I kind of made the image to look like a triad. I haven't drawn it very well. So what I've come to understand is, I've been doing all my work here. Yeah. This I like to call, this is where I work on all the symptoms. So when someone comes to see me and they've pulled a hamstring, or when an athlete WhatsApps me from in the change room in a professional soccer game, and I'm able to resolve his hamstring tweak via WhatsApp, that's where I'm working. Or a client who's got post-traumatic stress disorder for years, and in one session I can resolve it. It's coming from here, because you're able to find the sort of the energy blockages that are causing the thing to hold it, to stay there. So I call this like lightning meditation, and changing that, like, it's called lightning meditation, because it's just so quick. Your ability to go in and check what's going wrong on your computer, so to speak, and look what's stressing the computer, and be able to close web browsers and clear your trash. Yeah. So this is where all the emotions get stored in the body, and we're able to clear them instantly. Up here is where I spent a lot of my younger years working in elite sport, is working on movement, strength and conditioning, physical therapy techniques, food, getting outside is just a huge one, and sleep, those type of things. But you can see in my experience, if the lower levels are causing problems, it doesn't matter how much beef you eat or how much sleep you get, it's not going to resolve the deep function, like foundational reasons why you're experiencing a problem in your life. Okay, that's coming from nearly 3 decades of work. You may not agree with it, that's fine, but this is my experience of working with elite athletes, billionaires, professional poker players, all different areas of life. That's where I work and get results. And then what I came to understanding in this deeper level, I call this meditation OS. OS standing for, well, it used to stand for operating system. It does still, but it's also observation of self. So in this level, this is where deep conditioned behavior comes from, the deepest stuff. And I'm talking about the more I observe this area, I am so deeply conditioned. The stuff that I've discovered in here that was feeding, and what it does is it comes up and feeds all the symptoms. So if someone comes to me and they have a knee injury, which is stopping them from performing, so let's say they feel unable and extremely frustrated and helpless. So that will show up in the bodies as pain in the knee. They're not able to stand up, put their foot down, step up, these type of things. That's all symptom. When we get down into the deep stuff and start looking at these, it's like a puzzle or a framework that you can overlay in every aspect of your life. The first time I've been using this on myself every day, all day for a very long time. When I used it with my first client and I was looking for this puzzle, or what I call a hamster wheel or hamsty, where's the hamster wheel that they have in their life that they keep trying to, let's say, be able so they don't feel unable. The more they try and feel able, or they don't want to let people down, or they want to, be, status, achievement, success, etc. The more they spin and they put their effort into that in their centralized mind, the more they energize the opposite. And what happens is the hamster flips over, and it just happens again and again. And if you look at your life and if you can see that behavior of like, oh, this time I'm going to succeed in doing this, and you don't, it's because you're on a hamster wheel, and you'll have many hamster wheels running. And what we want to do is get off that. That is a prison. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. You'll ruin your life with these hamster wheels. And the only way to come off them is to go down here. And I want to start teaching other people how to do that. That, by the way, is the hardest thing in the world. It's also the easiest because you can do it yourself. You can start doing it straight away. The highest, Krishnamurti said, the highest form of intelligence is being able to observe your behavior without commenting on it. I will say that again. The highest form of intelligence is being able to observe your behavior without commenting on it. That is the hardest thing in the world. How do I know? Because that is where I roll every day on the mats in my internal dojo. So if you saw me around and I'm just walking on my own somewhere or with other people, I'm doing it. You learn about yourself or your deep conditioning in relation to others. It's not growing a beard and have baggy pants and go live in a cave and meditating. That's like doing Aikido. That's if you want real meditation, you do it when you're with your kids or when you're with your parents and they're triggering you. That's entering the octagon. Yeah, this is about results. It's not about being spiritual and like I said, wolf t-shirt. If you're interested in getting results with yourself and you want to take responsibility and find the truth, this is for you. If you're not, go away. If you're not there, this isn't for you. Okay, so you need proof of work to do this. It's not law of attraction. That's BS. I mean, there is a certain law of attraction, but you're going to see through my work that the law of attraction comes with a caveat. You also attract what you don't want to attract. How do I know? I've been there. I've done it. So just also, if you're into Bitcoin, which I am, if you're into truth and hard money, or looking for the reasons why our economy and society is crumbling, is because the money's distorted. It goes much deeper than that. But if you've taken that orange pill and you understand Bitcoin, And if you're interested in truth, you need to be looking at that and not taking mainstream media sponsored by central banks take on it, because you're going to be late to the party. Yeah. The base layer of Bitcoin is this layer is the operating system level of the blockchain. It's slow and it's very difficult. It's nigh impossible to to change. Yeah, well, it's impossible to change. This is the same as our deep conditioning. It's almost impossible to change. However, with the way I work, it is. Okay, and you can do it. And I'm, as I said, with all my videos on this site, on my YouTube channel, and I put things on Twitter, but I think YouTube's going to be the place I'm going to go into real depth. And I put it on my Masterless.life website. That's the base layer of Bitcoin. This is Lightning. This is layer 2, which is quick, fast. You get quick changes, fast changes. But when you want to send $1 billion on the blockchain, you do it here, and it takes 10 minutes. It takes time, and it takes a lot of proof of work, a lot of energy. So, and then as we come up here, I'm going to be talking about what I've found to be useful. I'll give you, I'll point you to people who I think are really good, in terms of like, what's the number one thing I do for my body? I focus in on my hips. Why is that? Well, that's come from my training with Gary Gray in Michigan, best physical therapist in the world. Why do I use bands when I do that? I'll point you to the best person. What do I think the best food is? Well, we need to also understand the way you perceive your food it affects how your body assimilates it. So this is my my masterless work food, and I want everyone to become masterless, and you don't need me. It's just I'm the person pointing the finger at this information. Just to a couple of things about the design that I like. The katana's opening, and the warrior is observing the katana. Now you can't see his face or eyes because you don't need to. Everyone's an individual. However, he's blind in some respects by his conditioning. There's no eyes. Also, the katana, this katana has been folded thousands of times. The beautiful swords that become extremely sharp. However, if you take the katana to symbolize the mind, our minds are folded again and again and conditioned by our parents, our schooling, our society, and manipulated, but definitely folded until it becomes so sharp it's blunt and becomes very dull. So with my work, what we have to understand is we are unfolding our mind katana. We are unfolding the centuries of conditioning. We can create rocket ships, and we can, we've got the most amazing computers and this technology I'm using right now. However, psychologically, we haven't changed in thousands of years. We are deeply conditioned and imprisoned by that. So my work is all about truth and freedom from the known, from the mind. So that's the design, and I'm super happy with it. The ones and zeros, the matrix, you can understand why that is ones and zeros, because this layer works on 1 and 0 energy. When you get good at one, I have a school which teaches all of this called Meditation OS. I started off teaching this layer. You get very good at being able to clear any emotional problem on the spot. You can work on other people, even if they don't know about it. You can strengthen other businesses. I've worked with some crazy examples of working with a business and how they took off after the work had been done, not because it's me, but because the work works. And then I've introduced to the course this deeper level, and I may produce another course separate just on this, but I'm not sure at the moment. So yeah, that's an introduction to my Masterless.life site, my Masterless system. again, just to reiterate, is because it's not about me, it's about the system. And some would say, there are some who say you don't need a system. When it comes to working with energy of ones and zeros, all I do with the course is give you the principles, and it's up to you to do the work to experience it and to compare ones and zeros, and then you get very good at mastering pretty much everything to do with your body, mind, spirit. Spirit being more things that come from outside of you that affect you. When it comes to this deeper level, again, what I like about it is you can learn it and do it. You do it yourself. So all of this is aimed at you becoming your own self-authority. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them on the video. If you have anything you would like me to go into, please comment under the video. I'd love to, and I'll go into that and do videos. I have so many ideas every day. I just been up in the, a bit of a recluse, working on myself before I came down from the mountains and start to share my work. And so I feel ready to do that. And I'm really excited about it. Just finally, I'm doing this for myself. This work I'm putting out there, one, for myself so that I get better at doing it. Two, because I like helping people. I have always done that. And when I see people who are suffering or are unable and struggling in life, and I know with the system, if they do it, they won't anymore. How do I know? Because I've done it for myself. It's taken me nearly 30 years, but my life has completely changed through this work. And if you follow this work, I think you will, it won't take 30 years. It will take months for significant changes. And then the more you do it, the more you clear the limiting beliefs, limiting things on your body coming from your conditioning, from your ancestors, and you'll be free and peaceful. And I think the only way to change the world is to do this, is to work on yourself. And this is a plan. And then at the end of the day, you can, if you want to eat vegan or whatever, that's kind of just the cherry on the cake. All right, thanks so much, and looking forward to connecting with you. As I said, please comment under the video. And if you like the video, please do smash that like button, and please share and notifications so you know when my next video is coming out. Thanks so much, everyone.